So this is an optional video. You can actually make Lorenz curves for different types of data. So we can actually make Lorenz curves for different. So as long as we have income data and we put it in order, then we can make a Lorenz curve. So it could be really detailed. Like we could have the income for every single person in the society. But generally we don't have that. So the kind of data we usually have, we sometimes have deciles, like I showed you before, and sometimes we only have quintiles, which are the population divided into groups of 20%. So we're going to do an assignment, a project next week, and in that we're going to probably only have data for quintiles unless I can locate other ones. Okay, so the process is still the same though. We still come up with this cumulative share. Okay, so this is a country. I'll tell you what country when we get done. So the first group has 6.4%, and then the next group gets 10.6%. Of the next 20% of people get 10.6% of the total income. And so when we add those two together, I believe that comes up to 17%. And then the third group gets 15.3% of the total income. And so then when we add them together, we're going to get 32.3% of total income. And then the next group gets 22.3% of total income, so 32.3, 54.6% cumulative. And then finally, the last group, the top 20% of people get about 45% of the total income, and so we get up to 100%. So we're always going to get up to 100%. So now we're going to do the same thing, except for it's just going to be, the groups are going to be bigger, so our graph's going to be a little rougher. Okay, and this time I'm going to make the dots in red, but then I'll make the line in green so you can kind of distinguish exactly where our data is hitting. I probably should have done the last one. Okay, so that's the first 20% gets about 6.4, so a little more than 5%. And then we add a little more than 10% to that, so we're going to get up to 17. Okay, 17% around there. And then, oh, sorry, I made the classic mistake. We got to go to 40%. See, I did that on purpose to give you an example. And then we got to go to the next group of 3. So we go 20 more percent is going to be up to 32.3. So a little more than 30. And then 20 more. So we've got to go 2 groups over. And then we get up to the total being 54.6. So about halfway between 0.5 and 0.6. And then we get to 100. Okay, and now we can go ahead and we can connect these groups. Okay, and so again, you see as you go along, the line gets steeper, and the reason it gets steeper is because each group is getting that amount in their time. So for example, if we look at the richest group here, their group gets this much, right? Go the vertical distance. And the group below them only gets this much. And the group below that gets this much, right? And below that here, and then here. Okay, so you can see if you look at it vertically, you can see what's going on there. And then once again, the Gini would be comparing this to the Gini, again, is comparing A compared to A plus B. Okay, so the Gini is going to give us a number. The math of the Gini is pretty difficult. We're not going to do the math of it, but we just want to understand visually what it looks like, and then we'll be able to interpret the numbers when we see them. So, okay. Incidentally, this data is for China. So this is the Chinese data, I believe, from 2016, if I remember where I got correctly where I got it from. So, okay, just a second example of how to do a Lorenz curve when you have quintiles. Okay, and this was optional video.